Good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the top headlines. We'll do everything possible to save every citizen from coronavirus, assures Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Also says infection can be prevented only by collective efforts. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan holds high-level review meeting. ICMR says coronavirus infection not at community level in the country as number of positive cases rise to 151. Government evacuates 405 Indian citizens stranded at Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur airport due to coronavirus outbreak. 2 AirAsia flights bring them home to Delhi and Vizag. As death toll in Europe crosses 3,000, EU seals off its borders. Rajya Sabha passes 2 bills. National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill 2019 and National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019 passed after discussion in the House. Bills provide for quality medical education system in homeopathy and promote Indian systems of medicines. Discussion on demands for grants for the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in Lok Sabha. Finance Minister says post-abrogation of Article 370, there has been a boost in the development and security in Jammu and Kashmir. And 5 candidates, including Deputy Chairman Harivansh, elected unopposed to Rajya Sabha from Bihar. 5 from West Bengal, 4 from Odisha and 1 each from Himachal and Haryana also elected unopposed on the last day of withdrawal of nominations. The Indian Council of Medical Research has said that the country has not yet seen community transmission of the novel coronavirus outbreak. Director General of ICMR, Dr. Balram Bhargav said India continues to be in stage 2, which is local transmission. He also said all 500 random samples have tested negative for novel coronavirus. He also informed that ICMR has decided to intensify testing facilities with expansion of network of its laboratories. He added ICMR is setting up 2 rapid testing laboratories at different places which will have the capacity to test 1,400 samples per day, and it will become operational by the end of this week. Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan held a review meeting on containment and management of the novel coronavirus. He directed that teams be deputed to regularly inspect and monitor quarantine facilities for ensuring necessary amenities, to ensure that the necessary amenities are being provided. He also reviewed the preparedness of hospitals in terms of availability of testing kits, personnel, protective equipment, medicines and isolation wards. He directed hospitals to ensure adequate availability of protective gear for all healthcare workers. India has evacuated 405 Indian nationals, including students, who were stranded at Kuala Lumpur airport in Malaysia due to the coronavirus outbreak. The government has also approved AirAsia flights for Delhi and Vizag to help these students. In a written reply in Lok Sabha, the government informed that as many as 276 Indians have been infected with the coronavirus abroad, which include 255 in Iran, 12 in UAE and 5 in Italy, and also 1 each in Hong Kong, Kuwait, Rwanda and Sri Lanka. And according to the latest figures from the Union Health Ministry, the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country has risen to 151. Novel coronavirus has infected 134 persons in India, out of which 14 have been discharged after recovery and 3 of them have lost their lives. The Indian Army reported its first case of coronavirus after a 34-year-old soldier of Ladakh Scout Regiment tested positive, prompting the force to strengthen its check and prevention mechanism and suspend war games, conferences and training activities. The Allahabad High Court has also issued an order declaring March 19 to 21st as holiday after a court employee was suspected to have contracted the novel coronavirus. The Bihar government has declared coronavirus as an epidemic. The move gives special powers to the government to deal with the situation. 311 suspected cases have been reported so far in the state, but none of them have tested positive, fortunately. Meanwhile, a day after banning the entry of foreign tourists to the Kashmir Valley, Jammu and Kashmir administration has also suspended the Vaishno Devi pilgrimage and all interstate bus services to the Union Territory in a bid to stem the spread of coronavirus. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Wednesday informed members about the several preventive measures that have been taken in Parliament complex in the wake of coronavirus spread. The chairman said the Parliament House complex has been sanitized and temperature checking is being done at the gates before allowing anyone inside the premises. Also, hand sanitizers have been kept at various points. The chairman urged members to give constructive suggestions as well to augment the safety measures.
We have sanitized the entire parliamentary complex, just for information. Second, these hand sanitizers have been kept at various places. Third, time to time, all the necessary arrangements also will be made. If, in addition to this, if members have any suggestions, they can convey to the Secretariat or they can convey to the Chairman about the need to take some more steps as far as the sanitation and the required measures are concerned. I leave it to the members.
As the Congress members demanded curtailment of Parliament session, Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said that MPs must set an example by functioning the House.
The temperature checking is being done at the boom barrier. As a result, there's a huge traffic jam. There are 3-4 people in every vehicle, and there are half a kilometer long queues there. It took me 15 minutes to cross the boom barrier. It should be done at the entry gate. It does not make any elementary sense.
I take note of your point.
And also, what the honourable member has said, I fully associate. We are telling the entire country for social distancing, and if we do not do it here, it does not make.
Right.
आज 130 करोड़ हिंदुस्तान के लोगों में एक जुनून भी है, जज्बा भी है कि इस वायरस से लड़ना है। अगर हम इस सदन के अंदर बैठ करके हमारा मिजाज जो है इसमें लड़ने का इस जुनून और जज्बा नहीं दिखेगा और हम उसमें पैनिक करेंगे तो निश्चित तौर से वो देश के हित में नहीं है।
Several important issues of public importance were raised during Zero Hour in Rajya Sabha on Wednesday. Issues raised include the rising cases of kidney failure, crude prices, and also impact on fuel prices in India. Ripun Bora of the Congress and Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party also raised issues related to COVID-19. Let's listen in.
कोरोना वायरस के परीक्षण के लिए दिल्ली और भारत भर में परीक्षण केंद्रों की भारी मांग है। यह वायरस दुनिया भर में फैल गया है और भारत की भारी आबादी को इस संक्रमण का खतरा है। हमें दक्षिण कोरिया जैसे अन्य देशों से परीक्षण मॉडल को अपनाना होगा, जो ड्राइविंग इन परीक्षण केंद्रों की तैनाती कर रहे हैं। सरकार को एक वास्तविक समय पोर्टल बनाना चाहिए और इसे कुल राज्यवार सकारात्मक कोविड-19 मामलों के साथ अद्यतन रखना चाहिए।
In the entire country, not to speak of only in metropolitan cities, even in the remote areas also, there is acute scarcity of soap and acute scarcity of masks and sanitizers, and some unscrupulous sellers, they have taken the advantage of this, taking exorbitant rate from the public. So now my suggestion to the government and more particularly to the Ministry of Health to closely monitor the situation in the entire country so that sufficient stock is maintained.
पटना में जो एम्स खोला गया है महोदय, उसमें सही व्यवस्था नहीं रहने के कारण लोग जो है दिल्ली एम्स में आकर के अपना इलाज कराते हैं और परिवार एवं कल्याण जो स्टैंडिंग कमेटी है उन्होंने अपनी रिपोर्ट 2018 में जो पेश की थी उसमें बहुत सारी कमियों को उन्होंने उजागर किया था और उसकी व्यवस्था को सुदृढ़ करने के लिए कहा गया था, लेकिन अभी तक वहाँ की व्यवस्था सुदृढ़ नहीं हो पाई है। मैं आपके माध्यम से अनुरोध करना चाहती हूँ कि वहाँ जो कमियाँ हैं उस कमियों को पूरा किया जाए।
In the Lok Sabha too, members of parliament raised the issue of coronavirus during zero hour.
कोविड-19 का प्रकोप बुरी तरह से है, जिसमें 140 से ज्यादा देश जहां प्रभावित हैं, वहीं 2 लाख के लगभग संदिग्ध मरीजों की संख्या है और 7,500 से ज्यादा लोगों की मृत्यु इसमें हो चुकी है। लेकिन हमारे देश में जहां एक बड़ी जनसंख्या है 130 करोड़ की, हमारी सरकार ने इस पर नियंत्रण रखा है और अभी तक केवल 140 के लगभग हमारे यहाँ संदिग्ध लोग मिले हैं और केवल 3 इंजरी हमारी जो कैजुअलिटी हुई है। लेकिन अभी जो ये बीमारी है इसके अभी बढ़ने के आसार है, इसलिए नियंत्रण के लिए और भी सावधानी की आवश्यकता है।
Through you, sir, regarding the Indian students studying in Philippines and other countries. Sir, Government of India has banned the entry of passengers from Philippines and Malaysia as a precautionary measure to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Yesterday, around 200 Indian students studying in Philippines were stranded in Malaysia en route to India. Thanking the Ministry for initiating necessary steps to bring them back to India safely.
I am seeking a response from the government. This is a very important issue. So hundreds of students and Indians are stranded in various countries. Italy, Iran, Malaysia, Philippines. So I urge upon the government, kindly respond to this issue because they have no idea how to go, how to move. All are stranded in the airports and there is no other way. Only the mission of India has to intervene and the government of India, and especially the external affairs ministry, has to intervene into this matter and send special aircrafts. So my suggestion is send special aircraft so as to evacuate all these people who are stranded in Manila, in Rome, Kuala Lumpur and also in Iran.
The World Health Organization has called for aggressive action in Southeast Asia to combat the fast-spreading coronavirus, warning that some countries were heading towards community transmission of the deadly disease. Infections have soared across the region in recent weeks, forcing several countries to introduce drastic measures, ranging from closing their borders to foreign arrivals and also imposing nighttime curfews to closing schools and cancelling sports events. The World Bank has also announced increasing to $14 billion the amount of fast-track financing to assist companies and countries in their efforts to respond to the rapid spread of COVID-19, adding $2 billion to the initial package. The announcement came amid fear of a major global recession in the wake of the coronavirus that has impacted more than 120 countries. COVID-19 cases surpassed 2 lakh worldwide on Wednesday as the new coronavirus continues to spread outside of China, the original epicenter of the outbreak. Coronavirus deaths in Europe have exceeded the toll in Asia for the first time. Europe counted at least 3,421 deaths compared with 3,384 for Asia, where China was the initial epicenter of the pandemic, which has now infected more than 1,94,000 people globally and killed 7,873. Italy has the most number of fatalities in Europe with 2,503. Iran reported its single biggest jump in deaths from the novel coronavirus on Wednesday as another 147 people died, raising the country's overall death toll to 1,135. The nearly 15% spike in deaths amid a total of 17,361 confirmed cases in Iran marks the biggest 24-hour rise in fatalities since officials first acknowledged cases of the virus in Iran in mid-February. The deadly coronavirus has hit all 50 states in the United States of America, as West Virginia reported its first case of the infection on Tuesday. In fact, BBC reported that New York City is considering a lockdown similar to the one in the San Francisco Bay Area. There have been 108 deaths in the US so far and more than 6,300 confirmed cases in the country. In fact, as we speak, globally, there are about 2 lakh cases and nearly 8,000 people have died because of novel coronavirus. In some other news, the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill 2019 and the National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019 have been passed by the Rajya Sabha. Both bills were passed by voice vote after discussion in the upper house. Replying to the discussion on the bills, Ayush Minister Shripad Yesso Naik said the passage of the 2 bills will help the government to strengthen homeopathy and other Indian medical system streams in the country. The bill provides for the establishment of the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine and the National Commission for Homeopathy. The official amendments will ensure several necessary regulatory reforms in homeopathic education.
कई सदस्यों ने कहा है कि वो इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ इस मेडिसिन का इंटीग्रेशन होना चाहिए। ये काम आयुष ने ऑलरेडी शुरू किया हुआ है। कहीं जो बड़े हॉस्पिटल है, एम्स होंगे या दूसरे जो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में, यहाँ इंटीग्रेशन का ऑलरेडी शुरू हुआ है। आखिर इस मेडिसिन सभी का हमारा प्रयास किसके लिए है? तो पेशेंट है तो जल्दी ठीक होना चाहिए। इसीलिए ये प्रयोग सभी जगह अभी थोड़े थोड़े इसमें चालू हुआ है। हमारे जो आयुष नाम की स्कीम है उसमें भी हमारे प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर में भी सभी तरह के डॉक्टर बैठते हैं, जिसको जो पैथी चाहिए, जो मेडिसिन चाहिए वो लेके हो जाता है। और इंटीग्रेशन का जमाना अभी शुरू हुआ है।
Earlier, while participating in the discussion, several MPs put forth their suggestions on the bill.
अच्छी दवाएं जब तक नहीं होंगी तब तक उन दवाओं से लोगों को, मरीजों को लाभ नहीं होगा, और जब तक मरीजों को लाभ नहीं होगा तब तक उस दवा की या उस चिकित्सा पद्धति की स्वीकार्यता नहीं होगी। हमें इस पर विशेष ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है।
In the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine, out of 29 members, only 6 represent the state governments. Homeopathy, out of 20 members, only 5 represent the state governments. Health is a state subject. Medical education is a concurrent subject. You have to give equal responsibility to the states in this area.
मैं निवेदन करना चाहूंगा, इस एक्ट के अंदर ये प्रावधान करें कि आयुष के डॉक्टर को अगर एलोपैथिक डॉक्टर कम नजर से देखते हैं, कम नजर से आंकते हैं, तो सरकार उसके ऊपर कोई कड़ी कार्रवाई करने का प्रबंध करे, उनको किसी भी कीमत पे झोला छापना कहा जाए।
1/57-3 एक तो वैसे ही बेरोजगारी का आलम बहुत बहुत भयावह है, कोहराम मच रहा है। आप लोगों को नौकरियों से बर्खास्त कर रहे हैं। अरे क्या बिगाड़ा? उनको कहीं समायोजन करिए, बोर्ड में कहीं भी नई चीज बनाए उसमें रखें, उनके मद्देनजर आपको सोचना होगा।
The second batch of the supplementary demand for grants for the year 2019-20 was discussed in Lok Sabha on Wednesday. The supplementary demand for grants for the Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh were discussed simultaneously. The centre has proposed a budget of more than 1 lakh crore rupees for Jammu and Kashmir for 2020-21. In reply to the discussion, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said, post-abrogation of Article 370, development and security in Jammu and Kashmir have received a major boost.
Honorable Member Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said, tell me what's different before August 15th and what is different now? August 5. क्या बदला? बहुत बदला सर। करप्शन नहीं है अभी, उससे पहले करप्शन ही करप्शन था। ट्रांसपेरेंट टेंडर हो रही है अभी, तब नहीं था। और आज ट्रांसपेरेंट ट्रू डेमोक्रेसी चल रही है। इसीलिए ब्लॉक डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल के चुनाव में 98% का रिप्रेजेंटेशन के साथ चुनाव सफल हुआ। ये भी सुन लीजिए बदला क्या है। टोल गेट ओपन करने के बाद आप लोग कभी टोल गेट को हटाने में तैयार नहीं थे। हटाने के बाद उदाहरण के नाते मैं नहीं बोल रही हूं, मेंबर्स बोल रहे हैं कि सीमेंट के प्राइस क्या हुआ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में। मोनोपोली का समर्थन देते हुए आप चलाता आपके सरकार, हमारी सरकार तो खुल गए इस मार्केट को। अभी सीमेंट आम जनता को सस्ते दर में मिल रही है। ये बदलाव है।
370 को अब्रिगेशन करके जम्मू कश्मीर विकास के लिए नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार आज काम कर रहे हैं। सबसे पहले हमारे एजेंडा में जम्मू कश्मीर में शांति का स्थापना हो, जम्मू कश्मीर में शासन ठीक तरीके से हो, भ्रष्टाचार कम हो, लोगों को सुविधा हो, लोगों को अच्छे एजुकेशन मिले, लोगों को अच्छे रोड मिले, लोगों को अच्छे हेल्थ मिले, लोग आतंकवाद का गतिविधि कम हो। इसी दृष्टिकोण से लगातार हम काम कर रहे हैं।
Earlier, several members participated in the discussion.
सरकार 1,01,428 करोड़ रुपए का जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बजट लेके आई है। मैं सरकार को अध्यक्ष जी आपके माध्यम से यह आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि जहां पर सामाजिक शांति नहीं होगी वहां पे आर्थिक विकास और आर्थिक तरक्की नहीं हो सकती।
आज अगर सरकार सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स लेके आई है, या जम्मू कश्मीर के, चाहे लद्दाख हो, यूनियन टेरिटरी या जम्मू कश्मीर हो, इन दोनों के गठन के बाद भारत सरकार कौन से कदम उठा रही है, वहां के प्रोजेक्ट के लिए कितना पैसा दे रही है, शायद पूरा देश और जम्मू कश्मीर भी देख रहा है।
जम्मू कश्मीर प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के नेतृत्व में एक नया स्वप्न देख रहा है। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये थी 73 एंड 74 अमेंडमेंट फॉर द लोकल बॉडीज। आज पहली बार 5,000 से ज्यादा पंचायतें गठित हुई हैं, चुनाव हुआ शांतिपूर्वक ढंग से, 960 काउंसिलर्स नियुक्त हुए या निर्वाचित हुए।
You need more money because people are suffering there because of this imposition of curfew, because of the imposition of your own clampdown.
मैं बोलता हूं ग्रांटी नीड ऑफ 30,757 crore for J&K, 5,958 crore allocated to Ladakh. Sir, this is a high grant, but so far we have not. And then the Prime Minister announced 80,000 crore package for J&K in 2015. Nothing is seen on the ground as such.
The basic question that actually needs to be promoted is you encourage the panchayat level leaders also to come forward. So political voice of that state, of both the union territories, need to be heard and recognized. And therefore, large number of money that is being given to both these union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, needs to be invested for proper development of those two areas.
NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, Union Minister Ramdas Athavale and Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh Narayan Singh are among 37 candidates elected unopposed to Rajya Sabha as the deadline for withdrawal of nomination ended on Wednesday. Of these candidates were declared elected unopposed to all 7 seats in Maharashtra, 6 seats in Tamil Nadu, 2 seats each in Haryana, Chhattisgarh and Telangana, 4 seats in Odisha, 5 seats each in Bihar and West Bengal, 3 seats in Assam and 1 seat in Himachal Pradesh, as no other candidates were in the fray. The BJP bagged 7 seats, 2 in Haryana, 3 in Maharashtra and 1 each in Himachal Pradesh and also in Bihar. The BJP also bagged the seat in Haryana where by-poll was held following the resignation of former Union Minister and party leader Birendra Singh. BJP ally AIADMK won 2 seats from Tamil Nadu and another ally BPF won a seat from Assam. The Trinamool Congress and the Biju Janata Dal got 4 seats each in West Bengal and Odisha respectively. The TRS won 2 seats in Telangana. The Congress got 4 seats, 2 in Chhattisgarh and 1 each in Haryana and Maharashtra. Its allies RJD got 2 seats in Bihar, DMK got 3 in Tamil Nadu, NCP bagged 2 seats in Maharashtra and Shiv Sena got 1 in Maharashtra. The CPIM got 1 in West Bengal, while an independent candidate backed by the Congress and the AIUDF was also elected in Assam. Elections will be held on the 26th of March for the remaining 18 Rajya Sabha seats, 4 each in Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh, 3 each in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, 2 in Jharkhand and 1 each in Manipur and Meghalaya. A Delhi court will hear a petition seeking stay on death penalty of the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case on Thursday. The counsel for the death row convicts filed a petition in a Delhi court on Wednesday, saying the second mercy plea of one of the convicts is still pending. Convict Akshay Singh had filed a second mercy petition before President Ramnath Kovind on Tuesday. On the same day, another convict, Pawan Gupta, had also moved the Supreme Court with a curative petition against the dismissal of his review plea, rejecting his claim of being a juvenile. Additional Sessions Judge Dharmendra Rana has issued notices to the Tihar jail authorities and also the Delhi police in the matter. The 4 convicts in the case are scheduled to be hanged on the 20th of March at 5:30 a.m. The execution of these 4 convicts has already been rescheduled thrice before. And the Supreme Court on Wednesday directed that no self-assessment or reassessment of AGR dues be done by telecom companies, or they will be held for contempt of court. The Apex Court said that its judgment on AGR dues is full and final, and that should be followed thoroughly. The Apex Court also expressed displeasure over frequently published newspaper articles on the AGR issue. It said all managing directors of telecom companies will be held personally responsible and will be held for contempt of court for any such future publications. And let's now give you some news about environment and climate change. Fires in the lower Himalayas and the foothills are forcing the glaciers in the higher reaches to melt much faster. According to a study by Forest Survey of India, about 37.54% of the forest cover in Uttar Pradesh is either extremely, highly or moderately fire-prone. The study also notes that 32.75% of the forest cover in Uttarakhand is also between extremely to moderately fire-prone. Forest fires and crop burning, in addition to pollution due to emissions from other sources like coal-burning power stations, transportation and brick kilns, are causing high soot depositions in the Himalayas. Black carbon, a component in soot, absorbs light more strongly than any other substance in the atmosphere, is now settling over the Himalayan glaciers. When black carbon particles settle over these glaciers, they darken the surface and enable higher absorption of light and heat, eventually causing the snow or the ice to melt. Black carbon particles that remain suspended in the atmosphere absorb sunlight and infrared radiation and warm the air, which also contributes to glacial melt. The study highlights the need to control agricultural burning along with pollution to help with the problem of glacial melting. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.